All right, what's good? What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the show, man. Recap with Mo, where we getting ready to get into another episode breakdown of Tyler Perry's Caught Up, all right? But before we get into this thing, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss shiznit that's going down, all right? So the episode we getting ready to get into is season 1, episode number 2, titled Right versus Wrong, all right? So the synopsis for this episode states that Jazzy tries to let go of her attachment to Wayne as she considers his relationship at home, but his efforts to win her back prove hard to resist. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So as we previously left off, Jazzy had just found out that Wayne was getting engaged to Whitney. All right, somebody that he's been with for a while, and we'll talk about that later. So as we open up this episode, we see Wayne driving around. He's trying to get in contact with old girl Jazzy. Jazzy is sitting at home, lying in bed, looking at the newspaper with his image and his soon-to-be wife's image on the front of the paper. And she's like, what the hell, Wayne? All right, and you know what I'm saying? He's calling her. He's asking her to pick up the phone. Babe, just pick up the phone. But he continues to get a dial tone because she's not trying to holler at him right now. So anyhow, he goes to the gym. Obviously, that was where he was going while he was in the car. And he's just sitting there depressed. He's looking at a card that says, congratulations, whoop, whoop, whoop. And she was like, of course, in her narrative mode, like, okay, I know this is not an image of an individual who should be celebrating, but right now he's torn. Truth be told, that's the reason why people don't need to be out here getting caught up in these streets, because you can have this on the side, this on the side. Eventually, you're going to end up getting some damn feelings somewhere in between, and that's not where you want to be. She goes on to say that there's this report on the internet that states that you can be in love with multiple people at one time. Now, I can't speak on that personally because I've never been there, but obviously there are some people out there who have involved themselves in situationships that get in situations such as this, all right? So she goes in and she tells a little bit about Whitney, his fiance. Now, she states that Whitney grew up in this, in a pretty good lifestyle where she didn't have to worry from anything. Her mother was a corporate attorney. Her dad was some type of corporate banker or something like that, so the money wasn't a problem. The issues that she had at home were, that her mom and dad had issues all the time where they could not communicate with one another, where they were fussing or something like that. Something was always going on. So it wasn't financial issues. It was always issues with communication or somebody not being able to take care of something. It was always something because they were always being pulled by their jobs, their professions or whatnot. So anyhow, we see that she pretty much was raised by her nanny. So anyhow, going on from there, she tells the story of how they met. So Whitney was a student at this college, and so was he. Well, he goes into the library, and when he goes in, the guy that's checking him out behind the counter is like, oh my gosh, it's you. And he was like, man, just be cool. He was like, oh man, you here to save the day. You gonna rock it this year. Can I get a photo of you? Woo, woo, woo. Old girl, Whitney, is sitting in there as well, and she's studying. So they lay eyes on one another as he's sitting there taking pictures with the old boy behind the register. He runs out to catch up with Whitney, obviously. And the next time we see them, they're meeting at this party. Whitney plays hard to get. He's like, hey, can we dance? We're like, can you? And then she walks off and starts dancing with her girls. Now, I don't know why y'all be doing that when y'all be feeling it or whatnot. Why y'all be going through the motions? If you like me, you like me. Let's go on and get it. But we like the thrill of the hunt. I get it. I love that as well. But anyhow, long story short, they kick it off and they end up in the bathroom as well. So I'm like, what in the hell is going on in the bathrooms? All right. So anyhow, from that point on, from the bathroom to now, they've been together like, white on rice, all right? So Whitney was very supportive. She was just, whatever it was he needed, she was there for him, all right? And for him, that's what he needed as a student. Also, he saw value in her because she had means and he did not. He was a broke college student, but of course he was a star athlete. Now, with that being said, what comes along with being a star athlete is the fact that you have your choice of women at any time of the day. in which he did. He had her, and then he had multiple in between her as well. So anyhow, I'm not sure where we're going to get into that because we did not see this on this episode, but I'm quite sure eventually a lot of that is going to come out as this show progresses, all right? So anyhow, we see them in a scene where he's trying to kiss up on her, get close to her up in the bed. She just got finished laying the baby down because obviously she ended up pregnant. She did not finish school, but he vowed that he would take care of them, he and the family. So she pretty much was taking care of their son Wesley at this point. So while they're doing that, she doesn't have the energy. She's exhausted. So when she gets into bed, she doesn't feel like she doesn't have the energy to give him as well because he wants that me time as well. And she's like, look, I got somebody that's sucking on my breast, and then I got you trying to get up in me. Like, what's going on? I don't know where to go. I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. And he feels left out. And he's like, look, I only need about 5 minutes, truth be told. Sometimes that's all we need, just to feel like, hey, it is what it is. But she's not able to give him that, and he has to realize that. But at some point, there has to be a resolve. There has to be a compromise, all right? And we'll talk about that as this show, progresses. But anyhow, going on from there, he moves on, away from her, and he gets on his phone. See, that's how we get in trouble. We get on that phone with social media and all that stuff, and he started to get on that phone, started looking at images, started to look at other girls. Not giving this man a cop-out by any means, but that's what people do. They naturally go back to what they were doing before. And that's honestly what he's doing. So when he gets to the club and he meets Jazzy, he sees this nice new face. He sees this nice new girl who is giving him attention. And, now he's in this situationship with a girl that is giving him attention, everything that he was lacking at home. So now we get back to present day. And we see Jazzy sitting in her room getting her meditation on, listening to this woman. And she receives a text talking about, right before she receives this text, the lady on the TV is like, look, you need to release whatever is stressing you out. And she's like, I release you, Wayne. I release you, Wayne. But then she receives a text from Wayne at the same time, giving her an address, saying, be there at 8 o'clock. Allow me to make all of this make sense. Initially, she's like, no, I ain't going to do that. Next thing you know, she gets up out the bed. She goes get those, the legs waxed, get her face waxed or whatnot. And then she goes in and she puts on her best outfit ever. You know how you plan it out, you ladies. You know how you do it. You put your clothes out there on the bed so you can look at it, stand back and look at it. Yeah, I'm about to kill it. And that's exactly what she did. So when her ass gets to the spot that he told her to at 8 o'clock, she walks up to this place and then she decides to turn around. But unfortunately, she can't go no damn where because Wayne has placed a boot on her car so her ass can't exit. So she's like, hold on, wait a minute. I just been here this amount of time, but they already placed a boot on her car. She can't go nowhere. Old boy has came outside and he's like, look, you need to come on in. Mr. Wayne is waiting on you. So her fine ass comes in, got that split up the thigh. And she coming in, like, she already knew what she was doing when she came there. Like, you knew you ain't... She knew she had this conversation dress on when she came in. So when he came in and she came in, she was like, look, I don't even feel like talking to Mr. Wayne. You can tell Mr. Wayne this. He was like, tell Mr. Wayne what? So he shows up. He got his little blue jean jacket on. She was like, ooh, he looking good. Got his necklace on. I need to get me a necklace like that too. Anyhow, he was like, look, I just need to talk to you. And she's like, what? Talk about what, Wayne? Like, there's nothing to talk about. You got a whole fiance. And he was like, look, listen. Look, it's 18 weeks in a season. 17 games, all right? 9 at home, 8 away. And she's like, okay, what the hell they got to do with me? What's your point? He was like, look, 11 out of those 17 games, my fiance hasn't touched me. And she was like, okay, what about the other 6? He was like, that's me basically begging for her to touch me. So what he's conveying to her is like, I ain't getting no loving at home. She ain't paying no attention, no attention to me, but you're giving me that. And maybe I'm making a mistake with getting with her, but I do have this obligation with her because she has my son. All right? And she was like, look, I ain't come here to hear all of this about you and your fiance getting y'all business on. Like, I don't care nothing about that. And he was like, please stop. So then he goes in, and she was like, look, she starts putting her hands on him. Now, ladies, please don't put your hands on men. You don't know how they will ever respond. And I'm just saying that's not a good look on neither party. Don't put your hands on no damn body, all right? Man or woman, don't put your hands on no damn body. But I can understand her frustration. She doesn't know what to do with those hands. But love me. That's what you need to do. Put your... But yeah, she was like, look, you don't effing love me. And he was like, I do love you. And she was like, no, but you can't. So he starts to come up on her. He starts holding on to her, trying to hug her, whatnot. And he was like, look, I'm sorry. She was like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What about your fiance? He was like, look, I'm sorry, all right? And then he grabs that face. She looks at him like, okay, I believe you, boo. And then he was like, look, I just need you to listen. You know how we give you that LL Cool J, I need love type of mentality. And we start going in and that voice comes out and y'all start to look in our eyes and y'all start to be like, damn, okay, I believe you, daddy. That's exactly what she gave right here. And it was on from there. All right, I'm going to just say that. Next thing you know, she wasn't in no bathroom, but she was up on another tabletop. All right. So the next morning, she's trying to jettison an old boy. I don't even know what to call him. He's standing back on the side of the door, and he's asking her, can he get her a drink? She's trying to ease up out with the hoodie on and try to be all inconspicuous. And he was like, look, can I offer you something to drink? She was like, no, I'm trying to get up out. I'm trying to get up out. No, I'm fine. So then she heads over to the I guess the local pharmacy or whatnot to go get one of those the morning after pill or whatnot. So I was like, hell no, you did not do that, shawty. Like, you just said you wasn't going in, but you went all the way in. Like, you went in raw. Like, for real, that's what we doing. And you I said, when old girl said let it go, she didn't mean let it go like that. So she let it all the way go. So now she's in there trying to put the glasses on, had the hoodie on. Old girl that's helping her or assisting her says it all loud about everything. So she was like, so much for being discreet. So while she's trying to ease up out of there, just behind her happens to be Whitney, who is the fiance of Wayne. So she bumps into Whitney, drops her morning after pill down on the ground. They apologize to one another. She's trying to hurry up and get up out. Old girl is like, oh, hey, go Blue Jays, because she actually has on a Blue Jays sweatshirt. Now I'm hoping that that's hers, because if not, then it just so happens to belong to Wayne, and she's standing in front of Wayne's fiance. So anyhow, old girl felt some type of way and she runs off. Well, Whitney is like, okay, that was awkward, and she goes up to the register. So the next thing we see is Jazzy sitting out in her car. She's contemplating on what to do, and she receives a phone call from Toya, and she was like, hey, what's going on? So old girl Jazzy conveys to her what just went down, how she bumped into old girl at the pharmacy, and she was like, this man got a whole baby, a whole son, a whole family, and I'm sitting up here in the car getting ready to take this morning after pill, and just as I thought everything could potentially turn around, this woman is in the pharmacy buying a whole bunch of pregnancy kits. And I was like, what the hell? So potentially there's a chance that this woman is actually pregnant as well again. And I was like, hell to the no, Jazzy. So old girl was like, hold on, wait a minute. Are you crying? She was like, yeah, I'm crying because I'm sitting here and I'm going through all of this for a man who got this whole situationship on the side, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So she was like, well, how many next day after pills did you buy? She was like, well, I mean, I got one or two or something like that. And she was like, well, have you taken it yet? And Jazzy was like, no, I haven't taken it yet. She was like, well, are you? And I was like, hell no. So anyhow, going back real quick, before she said that, she was like, well, wait till old girl comes out to see what she's driving. So when Whitney comes out, she walks over towards this Rolls Royce. So when she goes over there, Jazzy's like, oh hell to the no. She driving a Rolls Royce, and old girl was like, hold on, she done called all her cronies over in the prison, and she was like, what you say? So she got the phone so everybody can hear it. Everybody getting excited. So now old girl, her friend Toya is like, don't do it. She's like, don't do it. She was like, no, you go ahead and forget that. You need. You go ahead and don't take that pill. You go ahead and get that bag first. You worry about that later. That old girl driving a Rolls Royce, you can get the very same thing. And truth be told, there are some girls out there are some women out there that think that very same way about that whole situation, but you can't blame them because as the man, if you're willing to give up the seed, there are some women that's willing to take it. So you can't get mad at them if you're willing to give it up as well, bro. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode, man. I ran through this thing within 15, 16 minutes or something like that. So I know that was a breeze, man. So I hope that y'all enjoyed it, man. I probably will resume recapping this show because actually I'm finding it quite pleasing. She's easy on the eye first and foremost. Secondly, it's pretty comical, so I'm interested. I'm intrigued on how this is all going to play out. Definitely with this whole situation with the soon-to-be wife being pregnant potentially, as well as Jazzy might be pregnant as well if she doesn't take this morning after pill. So, like I said, I'm here for it, man. I'm here to give y'all the recaps, man. I have yet to see anybody recapping it. Maybe I don't know. I don't look at everybody's content, but I have yet to see it. So I'm giving y'all my exclusive here. And then let me know down below what you guys thought about the show as well. Anyhow, my rating on this episode, I would probably give this one a 7.5 as well. It did answer a lot of questions. We did find out a little bit about the background on Whitney, where she came from, her parents or whatnot, and how she got with Wayne or whatnot. So, like I said, about a 7.5, 7.7, something. It was a better episode than the first one, all right? So anyhow, with that being said, man, I'll holler at y'all later. See y'all the next one. Episode number 3 will be out tonight. So look forward to that. Because I got to get caught up, all right? And also, Zach Tima is coming out tonight as well. So I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.